All right. I'm not, well, I don't know what I'll title this. I'll title it when I get through. Um, what I want to do is I've had some conversations with people here on YouTube lately, several people. And so this is not really a prepper thing, but what I want to do, I want to make an offer to some of these people. You see in most of my videos, I got the Bible here, Holy Bible. This is an old King James. Reason I put this Bible out here, it's not to necessarily impress anyone I'm not trying to make any statement or anything. I put this out here when I'm doing these videos. I keep this around for me. The reason I do this, it reminds me I have to watch what I say. I have to be careful of the words I speak and the things I say. Really important to me. And it's kind of a little an attempt to keep me on track. That's what this is for. So I just have to have responsibility. I have to be careful what I say. And I'll just make this real simple because it's so easy for me to get off track on this. So this is not necessary for everybody, but you can listen to it. It might come into play for you. But if you have any kind of question about your faith or a faith, or if you're questioning things around you, as we do as preppers, but if you're thinking something bigger than this, some bigger picture kind of thing, maybe you got some kind of spirituality questions you're dealing with, or you're kind of wondering, is this all it is? Is this we're on this big rock, and is this the whole thing? And does it get any better than this? Do we just screw the whole thing up? Does it end or just go back to dust? What's the deal? And so if you're having any kind of questions like that, you're kind of thinking, because I'll tell you what, when I first got into prepping, that's when I started to question everything. I've been chasing this thing around since the first week of 2009. Very first week of 2009. I owned a Bible prior to that. Wasn't a big deal to me. Friend gave it to me, but it was that first week of 2009 where something happened to me, and I had a whole bunch of questions, and I had to find out, okay, what was that? What was this about? And so it set me on a path. I knew it was something biblical, and so I had to get into this, and I made a lot of mistakes. I followed a lot of things that were wrong. I locked into stuff that really got me way off track. And it wasn't until about 2 or 3 years of doing it on my own where I was just kind of got a little blessing where I actually met someone here on YouTube, which wasn't that's a whole other story. But this lady really had some patience, really took the time. It took her about 3.5, 4 months to get me close to being on track. I wanted to know what was in here. I wanted to know what happened to me, what this event I was dealing with. And I had all kinds of questions. And so basically I was trying to find it because I knew it had something to do with what was in here, what was in this Bible. And so I chased this thing down, and made all kinds of mistakes. I believed all kinds of wild stuff. But I was blessed in meeting this woman. That was another supernatural thing how I met her. That was a complete mind blower. But she had the patience, she took the time and showed me what she knew. And wasn't judgmental, wasn't some, beating me over the head with the Bible, trying to get me to go to church and all that kind of stuff. And I'm the same way. This woman saved me a whole lot of time and saved me from probably quitting the whole thing. And what I've dealt with one other person. I was able to kind of give them some information I had that saved them some time. And all I'm saying is, I've been in this thing a long time. I don't know it all. I don't have it all figured out. But I kind of know what it isn't. And if you have a question that might involve what you think might be in this book, or something about it, you got some questions going on, send me, either put something in comments, or if you want to keep it private, send me a private message, and I can get you my email or something like that. All I'm trying to do is save you from making the mistakes and wasting a lot of time like I did. I got into some goofy stuff, which is real easy to do. There are so many rabbit holes wrapped up in Christian faith here in the West, the way we do it and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not knocking the faith. Most of the stuff you've experienced, if you've had any kind of religion in you, whether it was your family or you went to church or whatever the case is, the sad part about it is 99.9% of what we've been fed is wrong information. They've messed this book up so bad it's not even funny. Put it to you this way. This book is about a group that was more or less sent here to rescue the rest of us that do not know what's in this book. Okay, well that group that this book is talking about, they have been hijacked. Okay, what they were taught is, it's a mess. But I don't want to get into that, but anyhow, if you've got some questions about the Bible or your faith or something like that, if you just got questions that you just want to know the what, the why, the whether, whether this has something to do with you or not, but you kind of know what I'm saying. If you kind of get some nagging question going on, I had that. Man, I dealt with that, and several times in my life. And my response was, anytime I started questioning things like, maybe that Bible thing's real, this and that, I always turned away from it. I was like a Jonah, man. I ran the other way. And I had something happen to me in the first week of 2009 that kind of stopped me in my tracks. And from that point forward, I had no doubt that something was going on here. I don't doubt this. I don't doubt the Word of God or any of that. I know who created this whole package. So if you have questions, you can keep it, send me a private message, just be a private thing or whatever. And I'm just trying to attempt to save you a lot of time. I've been thinking about this for a couple days, but I would have liked to have not wasted 2.5 years to find out what I know now. I've helped one other person, a family member, that got them somewhere a little closer to know what's going on in much shorter time than it took me. So I'm just trying to make it easier for somebody else. Like I said, I don't have all this figured out. I'm not claiming to be some kind of prophet or anything like that. Just trying to save you some time. I am not trying to get you to go to church. Matter of fact, I tell you, avoid church. But that's another story. I'm not trying to get you to believe what I believe or anything like that. What we'll try to get you to do is read this. This is the most. I read a lot of books. I'm a book nut. This is the most interesting book I've ever read. Just even on the face of it, without the spirituality stuff that goes with it. This is wild. This stuff is wild. But anyhow, I'll cut this. I was going to do I was talking to a friend here that I was going to do a video on the book of Joel, and it's in the Old Testament. It's in part of the Minor Prophets. And I'm still going to do that, but I need to do a little more research. I don't know if it'll really help anyone. It's kind of an interesting book, the book of Joel. It's 3 chapters. It's very small, but it's got a lot of prophecy in it. But I'm actually doing it for selfish reasons, hoping that someone who's knows a little more about the Old Testament than I do. I love the Old Testament. I get a real kick out of that. And I might find someone out there that's got some good info on the Old Testament, might be able to share it with me, give me a different outlook on this. Because it's a very strange book, the book of Joel. I'm still going to do that. I'm going to do that. But I feel right now the best thing for me to do is just offer any kind of advice, help, support, whatever you want to call it. If you have a question, if you've been questioning anything that seems like you might be looking into the faith, or you've got a question about faith, or you just got questions, send me a private message and ask you. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not that kind of person. I've been through that stuff. I'm just, if you got a question, it could be any oddball question. I mean, UFOs, whatever the thing is. If there's something I could pull out of here to answer your question, that's what I would do. At least try to help point you in the right direction, save you a bunch of time. Like I said, I had 2 separate times that I can think of in my life where I had big questions about the spirituality of things. Is this God thing real and all that kind of stuff. And both times I turned from it and ran. I said, I don't even think about that stuff. Okay. But in 2009, things got real different. But I'll say one thing. We live in a spiritual world. Everything out here is spiritual. There's actually one program going on it has 2 sides of the equation. There is good and there is evil. And that's the gist of it. We're in the middle of all the evil right now, but there's good and there's evil. There's 2 sides of this equation. and you really want to find out which side which side you're on, what side you're dealing with, and what side you want to get on. That's all I'll offer you that bit. But like I said, if you got a question about something like this, like I said, I put this out. I'm not trying to press anybody. I put this out here. This is to keep me on track. I haven't been a real good representative lately. I'll admit to that. But that's my own personal issues I'm dealing with. A lot of stuff I'm dealing with. But I'm just if you're interested in something like this, like I said, I'm not trying to preach on anybody or Bible thump or anything like that. But if I could, I could show what I know, save you a bunch of time, at least save you from some traps that I fell into. So, if you think about it, if not, I'll still put up my goofy trapper type videos and all that stuff. But anyhow, hopefully this is helpful for someone. Anyway, have a good one.